So welcome back everyone to another episode of Chat with Dan here. Joining me today, what did I say? We have on the show the incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the incredible Isabella. Isabella, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Honestly, I just got back from New York and I'm happy to have escaped the big snowstorm coming their way.
What better way to have an incredible, super badass Saturday than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean?
Right? Lucky us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow. It helps a lot. But also in the description below, you're gonna find all of Isabella's social media. Let's follow her, let's share some love, and let's find out why she's super badass. And without further more, let's jump in. So, I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out the first question, which is, what initially drew you to the whole acting in the first place? Was there a performance, a film that you watched, something that sparked the whole thing to make you realize, you know what, this is where my journey begins now?
Well, I started as a ballet dancer growing up. So I was traditionally classically trained. And something that I was always told in my dancing was, even if I wasn't maybe the most technically proficient dancer, I really had a talent for expressing emotion and acting through my dancing and storytelling through my body and not just doing technically proficient things with my body. And my dad is a big cinephile. He loves films and movies. And he would always take me to the theater. And I just always kind of knew, like, I want to be doing that. I just don't know how yet. And I'm a dancer and I understand the dance world. And that's how I trained a lot of my childhood. But I always had this, like, I want to be doing screen work and script work. I just didn't really know exactly how to make that transition. And, I fell in love with theater as well. So then I kind of started acting through the realm of theatrical acting. And then that transitioned into on-camera work eventually. And yeah, I think I always knew I wanted to be an actress. And I think I was acting through other mediums of performance and then finally landing into the screen acting world. So
How difficult was that transition to making, to start acting, but then making it into a pro career?
it's always a challenge, even if you book something that is very big and you think that it's going to open a lot of doors and change your life. It's always going to be kind of an uphill battle of vouching for yourself and continuing to grow and continuing to find those different roles and different projects that are going to keep elevating you. I got into TV and film because of my dance background. I auditioned for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, and I auditioned as a dancer, and that's what got me my first movie credit. My first movie was a Steven Spielberg film. I'm there 9 months filming, and I kind of just really took that as, like, yes, it was work, but it was more of a masterclass of learning how such a huge production, but productions in general, run and operate, and also just like getting to watch the best of the best and learn from them. So I got into it through my background as a dancer, even though I had been training as an actor already up until that point. But I do think it helps when you have something else to bring to the table and to offer, as well as your acting.
And early in your acting journey, what did you believe your worth was tied to?
I think a lot of this, all of it, like, roots to my background as a dancer. I definitely thought my value was my body and what my body could or could not do. Like, I remember, like, my feet aren't the best pointed arched foot that there is. And there were always girls with more beautiful feet than I did. And that played with my self-confidence. And then that kind of transitions. The more grounded you are in your body, the more grounded your performance is, regardless. And when you have that kind of, like, self-consciousness wrapped around it, I think it can play with your head just a little bit. But during the pandemic, I chose to stop pursuing dancing completely. And I had my whole life identified myself. I'd probably say I was a dancer first before I ever said my name or where I was from or anything like that. And the pandemic hit, and I was like, this is a guilt-free excuse to kind of leave that path and transition. But I had a lot of grief wrapped up in who I was as Isabella the dancer. And I think that kind of bled a little bit into my acting at the beginning. But because I had to do so much work of separating Isabella from the dancer, I was able to then go into my acting career with already this really deep understanding that I'm so much more than just a profession or a skill set or a talent. I live my life as an artist and I am an artist and a creative, but it's not that I'm a dancer, an actor, or this role or this project. But it took several years to kind of be like, well, if I don't have this, do I still like who I am? Do I still think I'm something worthy or I am someone to be proud of? It takes time. Yeah.
And when we strip away roles, critics, expectations, dancing, like all of it, who you are at your core.
I'm just a very empathetic, funny, quirky, creative who really loves her family. Family is everything to me. I am someone who my friendships mean everything to me. So I kind of will go above and beyond for the people in my life that I love. I really stand by the fact that I'm just a creative and an artist no matter what, whether that's cooking my meal or that's, the way I decorate my apartment, or I live my life like that, but it's not defined by any one singular discipline or outcome.
How did financially uncertainty shape your mindset during the early stages of your career?
I know there's a lot of people who say like, don't have a backup plan, like just go all in and it'll work out. But I think you have to make your life the life that you love and want, with or without the job, the booking, the role, any of it. And if you don't get those jobs, do you love your life? Are you able to live a high quality life? And I'm not saying be rich and whatever and have all the money in the world, but if you're struggling to go paycheck to paycheck and make rent and all these things, there's no way that you can give your best performance. You're always going to be in like survival mode and you're going to have this desperation every time you audition. And I have always had other work that I really love doing alongside all the projects that I've been blessed to have worked in my life so far and in my career. I teach yoga. I've always taught fitness. I've done some bartending and, didn't really like working in the service industry that much, but I quickly changed into something that like, I love teaching yoga. I love offering a space for people to connect to themselves and a place to be present. And the acting goes away tomorrow. I would be so happy just as a yoga teacher, and I shouldn't say just as, right? And I think it's really important to build first and foremost financial stability before going out and just searching in every which corner for a job that may or may not happen because of most reasons not having to do with your talent.
And how you deal with that pressure and at the same time with comparison.
I've never quite been a jealous person. If I look at what somebody has and I feel like that kind of instinct of like, oh, I wish I had that, I really just am like, I use it as inspiration and I kind of study them and see what they're doing. And then I go and try to do it for myself. You can take the exact same words and I can say it and then you can say it. And it's going to be a totally different thing because we are two totally different people. I'm never really in competition with anybody. Sure, like we're out for the same roles, but you can't do what I do and I can't do what you do. And I just don't go there because it's not helpful. And if I do feel like I want something somebody else has, I try to look at it through the lens of like, okay, well, if you want that, like what do you got to do to get it? And what does that look like for me and not for them?
Was there a moment when things looked successful from the outside, but felt heavy on the inside?
Filming West Side Story was obviously like such an amazing opportunity. And I'm so thankful for it. It was also kind of that moment where I realized like I did not want to be a dancer anymore. And I saw all these people next to me like living and breathing their movement. And I was like, I'm good at this, but here's a moment where I was like, I am jealous of the people getting to do more scene work. And it was the start of me realizing that like I had to give up my dance career, something that I had trained for since I was like 3 years old. Like I was dancing since I was a little girl. My parents have spent so much money on dance classes and all the time. And it's not to any waste because it has brought me to where I am now. But I was really struggling with like my identity and my value and like wanting to feel important and not feeling important. It was just a whole bunch of stuff, really like existential stuff. wrapped up in that project, but therefore I'm like so grateful for it. I learned so much on a technical aspect. I learned so much about myself. And then it gave me that final push of like, this is a great way to go out. This is a great way to end this chapter of my career and transition into the next version of my career.
Do you believe things happen for a reason?
Yes, and I sometimes think the reason is no reason at all. Like I do believe everything happens for a reason, and then sometimes it's just like it just happened and that is the reason, and you just have to accept and move on. I do believe everything leads into one another, but I also think there's circumstances in life where like you try to search for the reason, you're going to keep getting more lost and lost and lost. At some point you have to go, it is what it is. Let's move on. I've learned something. I've had to have learned something. So let's keep going.
I like that. Now, was there a rejection or moment in your whole journey at this point that make you confront yourself the most?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think it was that West Side Story experience of having to look at myself and be like, I don't want this anymore, or the dance aspect of that project anymore. And knowing that I was going to have to kind of almost start over again, because we think like theater and film are kind of interchangeable realms of entertainment. And they're more like, they're not sister brother industries. They're kind of like cousin 3 times removed industries. And I moved from New York to LA during the pandemic. I didn't know anyone. I really like siphoned off that part of my life in pursuit of this new version. And I wasn't gaining traction as quickly as I thought I would because I had this one big movie credit. I thought I was going to come to LA and doors were going to open because I wasn't a Steven Spielberg, you know what I mean? Like I thought all these things and that wasn't the case. And I had to go, okay, we're starting from ground zero, get back into class, start studying, start building your connections. And if you really want it, you're going to have to, climb the hill again.
Tell me, how tough has it been for you to handle this type of because it happens, right? And especially like in the media and all of that that you have to deal with, with fake people, right? A lot of hypocrites, things like that, people that are gonna just want to be with you in order to gain something, whatever. So my question here is, how has been your process with this, and how well have you been into this position in which you don't let yourself being affected by that?
I think you have to have like your very close knit community. My family is everything. My family lives far away from me, but I talk to them every day and they keep me incredibly grounded. And they just are that beautiful outside perspective of like, hey, this person kind of did this. Like, is that weird? And it's just that second voice to go, like, it's a little strange. Like, just be careful. It's not like you can't be friends with them or you can't interact with them, but like, we live in the age of social media where everybody's putting everything online and like sharing everything about their lives. And that's great. And I do it and all these stuff, but not everybody needs to know everything about your life. And there's certain things you should keep to yourself, and have something for you, have something for the people that are closest to you. And everything else is background noise, and people love to hate and people love to bring you down or disrupt your journeys. And one of my good friends, she'll have a callback or an audition for something big and she won't tell anyone about it. And I have tried to emulate that kind of pattern, because when you tell people about it, their energies, whether they pretend like they want you to succeed but secretly don't want you to succeed, it's gonna wrap around that whole experience. So it's kind of one of those things where like move in your silence and then people will know eventually. And also not being afraid to like cut people out. Like if you don't feel safe or supported by somebody, just cut them out. It's fine. It's not going to hurt you. It's going to help.
I'm figuring out why you're badass, I'm having these vibes like, I'm getting it now. For sure, I'm getting it. Yeah.
I'll cut you out so hard. I'm kidding.
Love it. Now, switching to our next section, our halftime show, quiz, speed round question, yes, no, or pass. Super simple. Gonna ask you a couple of questions in which you can only answer yes, no, or pass. You ready?
Okay. Yes.
So, have you ever waited weeks for an answer that took seconds to say no?
No, because if it's a no, you'll never hear back.
Okay.
I
Have
know
you
it's I had to say that.
It's okay. It's okay. I like that. Now, have you memorized scenes that never made it past the audition room?
Yes.
Have you ever been told you were perfect, but still not right?
Yes.
Have you learned to live with uncertainty better than most people you know?
Yes.
Have you celebrated a win that looked very small to everyone else?
Yes.
Have you questioned your entire path while still loving the craft?
Yes.
Have you learned to separate rejection from self-worth?
Yes.
Do you think actors develop patience faster than most people?
Yes.
Has acting taught you more about yourself than success did?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you believe this journey has made you stronger in quiet ways?
Yes.
And a bonus one, can you cry on cue?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about actors?
That they're lying. People always go like, "Oh, well, you're an actor. You're so good at lying." And it's like the most opposite thing of what an actor does. An actor tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, just through the lens of a different mindset. And if you feel like you're acting when or lying when you're acting, you're probably a really bad actor. Yeah.
And as your definition of success has evolved, what matters more now than just booking the role?
Oh, yeah. My success has nothing to do with me as an actor or me booking anything. Like, I genuinely believe success is how happy am I with who I am today in this moment, not tomorrow, not yesterday. Like, am I happy with who I am today? If the answer is yes, I'm a really successful person.
And are you happy right now?
My friend asked me that question like 3 days ago, and I was like, yes, I'm happy, but happiness comes and go because we're humans, and there's still sadness wrapped around our lives and things like that. But I'm really proud of myself more than I think I am happy. I'm very proud.
What do you think the 10-year-old version of yourself would think about you right now?
She'd think I'm totally crazy and she'd love it.
If acting disappeared tomorrow, what part of you would still remain?
My whole existence would still remain. I mean, to be an actor, you have to be so in your own body and so aware of who you are, so that, like, if you don't know who you are, how are you going to learn to portray somebody else? And your body and your mind is your instrument. It doesn't go. If the acting goes, that's fine. I'm still this vessel, you know.
What truth about your acting journey do you hope people truly understand?
I hope people understand that you are not defined by the projects that you do, because there are certain projects that you take and you're like, well, this is not exactly like what I would want to do, but mama's got to pay the bills. And not every project is because it's this like groundbreaking, emotional, like Oscar award winning situation, right? Sometimes it's for money, or sometimes it's for the connection, or sometimes it's just to be on set and work on your craft, and to not hopefully but to be defined by every project that you do, but more of who I am, not in those in the projects, and how I carry myself over a long span of time.
What motivates you? You know, we all have those days that we just want to quit. It's inevitable, happens to all of us. So how you stay positive in one of those days?
When I get kind of unmotivated or whatever, I just say like, you haven't come this far to come this far, so like let's get up and go. You get a day of, take the time to rest or cry or do whatever you need, but let's keep going. It's okay.
My last question here, so we can all enjoy and relax. Tell me, what do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Actually, I haven't thought this one through. Let me think. The best title for this episode would be Are You Happy in the Now?
Yeah,
I
are
like
you
that
happy in the now?
one. Are you happy in the now? Yeah, I
Sounds,
like.
yeah, I like it too. Sounds like a franchise. Sounds even, maybe at some point when you write your bio book, if you need a title, you could return to this and be like, I already had a title cooked years ago. So
Well, there's this book that I read every year, and it is called The Power of Now. And I think that's what a book that really helped change my mindset of like, how do I find that joy and that happiness every day when all the things I want kind of seem far away, or I don't really feel like I'm moving forward, or all that stuff. And The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, it will change your life. Yeah.
What can I say? I mean, at the end, the fact you're doing this, it's fantastic. The fact you're pursuing this, it's badass, because we all know that pursuing something outside of typical, 9 to 5, things like that, it's challenging for sure, especially when you're building it from scratch. But you have made it this far, you have accomplished so much. I mean, and what I love the most about your career is that, sure, you can create some characters, sure, you can tell us cool stories, but what I love the most is the fact you're showing that dreams can come true. And I do think that type of positivity is super powerful, because now in this crazy messed up world we're currently living in, the fact that we can rely on you, who is showing us that dreams are possible and that you can have fun of it at the same time. I mean, I discovered what you're badass, so that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like also serious and not serious at the same time. Like it's okay. My dad always told me, like, if you just view everything as a joke, you'll be fine. Everything, like, it's just one big joke. We're all gonna die. It's okay. Like, it's fine.
So I want to thank you so much for making this happen. I do want to thank also those who stayed the whole episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below. But by this point, I mean, do I have to really say it again? I mean, we already discovered why Isabella's super badass. I mean, come on. So let's follow her. Let's share some love. # Team Isabella. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining, keep rocking, keep kicking ass. And I'll definitely be seeing you in the next one.
Thank you.
Yeah.